Now, successful traders risk no more than 2 to 5% of their capital on any single trade. And money managers tend to risk a maximum of 2 to 2.5% on a given trade, while individual traders tend to risk a maximum of 5% on a given trade. As a rule, money managers risk less on trades. Now, never risk more than 5% on any given trade. This is to conserve your capital should you go through a losing streak. Okay, so you should never risk more than 5% of your capital on any given trade. Most successful traders are only right 50 to 60% of the time, so losing is a part of trading. Now, if you're risking 2%, this means that you can go through a maximum of 50 back-to-back losses before blowing your account. While if you're risking 2.5%, you can go through a maximum of 40 back-to-back losses before blowing your account. If you're risking 5%, a maximum of 20 back-to-back losses. And if you're risking 10%, only 10 back-to-back losses. Which is why money managers never risk more than 2 to 2.5% on a given trade. This is extremely important. You need to be able to go through a losing streak without losing a significant amount of your capital. Now, when trading, your reward to risk ratio should always be at least 1.5 to 1. That should be your lowest reward to risk ratio. And on average, you should aim for 3 to 1 or higher reward to risk ratio. When choosing a trade, find the nearest 4 support or 4 resistance, draw your Fibonacci level, and only take the trade if the potential reward fits your risk to reward ratio. When trading, it's important to keep your losses small and let your profits run. Remember, most successful traders are right only 50 to 60% of the time. So it's important to keep your losses small and let your profits run. Now, here's an example of a trade. Here we see the market breaks a trend line, falls to the backside of the trend line, right at the 5-0 Fibonacci level. So the risk on this trade is about 26 pips. So because you put your stops below the trend line, couple pips below the low. So the risk on this trade is about 27 pips. And your potential profit, see the first resistance is 65 pips away. And the 1.618 level is 130 pips away. And the final resistance is 150 pips away. So this trade has a potential of returning 150 pips. Okay, so this is a good trade because you can get at least 3 to 1 return on this trade. So you would have entered at the backside of a trend line right at the 5-0 Fibonacci level, and you could have taken your profit at the 1.618 level, and that would have been a 130 pips trade.